Welcome students in the class of English Literature, BA second year, paper first Poetry and Drama. Today's topic is a note on the modern poetry. Today we will discuss the history of English literature. The history of English literature is prescribed in our syllabus and it is very important topic in our syllabus. Therefore, we have decided today that we will discuss the history of English literature today. And in the history of English literature, today's topic is write a note on the chief characteristics of modern poetry or a note on modern poetry. I am Dr. Sumer Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government Lohia College, Churu. So let's start the today's topic, a short note on modern poetry. And in this short note, we will discuss about the modern poetry as well as about the chief characteristics of modern poetry and who are the important poets of modern age. So we include all these things and then we will discuss this topic today. Yes, let's start the topic not on modern not on modern poetry. So first of all, we will discuss the introduction of modern age or modern poetry. The period from 1922 to 1945 is known as the modern age in the history of English literature. This period is very important from 1922 to 1945, and this period is known as the modern age in the history of English literature. As we know that the history of English literature is divided into various period and ages for the convenience of the readers, because if we divide the history of English literature into ages and periods, then the readers can easily understand the various periods of English literature as well as the English literature as a whole. Otherwise, it will be a long period and it is not easy to understand the whole English literature. So it is divided into various periods, and today's topic is the modern age or modern poetry. So the period 1922 to 1945 is known as the modern age in the history of English literature. The two greatest literary works of 20th century, the first one is T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland and the second one is James Joyce's Ulysses. So these two important literary works are published in 1922, and therefore the 1922 is the beginning or it is the starting of modern age, because these two important literary works started the modern age, and these two literary important works have the modern characteristics of the modern poetry, and they are totally different from the previous literature of English literature. So in this way it is the beginning of modern poetry or modern age. The modern age marks a sharp and clear departure from the transition of old to new and from blind faith to rational thinking is very interesting. So we can say there is a clear cut shifting, there is a clear cut departure from the old to new, and there is a, we can say, clear shift and departure from the Victorian to new era of poetry, and that is new era of poetry is modern age. Modern poetry or we can say 20th century's poetry is a curious mixture of the traditional and the experimental. So we can say that there is a tradition as well as there is experiment in modern poetry. It's a curious mixture of the old and new. Old things are also there, but new things and changed things are much more in the amount or number, we can say. It is complex and many-sided. Modern poetry is also complex. It is difficult to understand. It is ambiguous to understand, and it is also complex. So this is the characteristics of modern poetry also. And when we study modern poetry, then we find that modern poetry is very difficult to understand because complexity is there, ambiguity is there. It is complex and many-sided, or we can say that it is many-sided. Modern poetry can be interpreted at various levels. We can interpret it at various levels, several levels we can say. Complexity, abundance of output, revolt against tradition, love of nature, pity for the poor and the suffering, disillusionment, loss of faith in religion, the mystical note, the romantic strain, the influence of music and other fine arts, and new techniques are main trends of modern poetry. So these are the main trends. These are the main, we can say, features of modern poetry, and these features are totally different from the previous ages poetry. So these are the main trends of the modern poetry. In the poetry of Thomas Stern Eliot, because T.S. Eliot is one of the most important and we can say leading poet of modern age. We see several of these trends, and we see all these trends, all these characteristics, that the disillusionment, loss of faith in religion, metaphysical note, and influence of music, revolt against tradition, all these characteristics are found into the poetry of T.S. Eliot as well as into the poetry of W.B. Yeats. In essence, he has broken completely the bridge between romanticism and modernism. So T.S. Eliot has broken totally the bridge, the connection between romanticism and modernism. Moreover, he has influenced modern poetry to a great extent and main trends of poetry. So, great extent the poetry is influenced by T.S. Eliot, or we can say that in 20th century, T.S. Eliot is the most influential poet or a literary figure in English literature. So, this is the modern age, or this is the beginning of modern poetry. Now we come to the topic of chief characteristics of modern poetry. What are the chief characteristics of modern poetry? So we will discuss the main characteristics, the main features of modern poetry. The first important, or we can say first feature of modern poetry is use of symbols and images. As we know that in modern poetry there is the extensive use of symbols and images, and the poets communicate their meaning in their poetry through the use of symbols and images. So we can say that it is the indirect way of communication, not the direct way of communication. And the use of symbols and images also makes modern poetry complex and ambiguous. So we can say that use of symbols and images is the most important characteristics of modern poetry, and we can see this characteristic into the poetry of T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, Robert Frost, W.S. Auden. In all poets' poetry, there is the use of symbols and images. The second, the spirit of revolt. Second is the spirit of revolt. In modern poetry, there is a revolt against old, there is a revolt against tradition, there is the revolt against outdated things. So, change is there, experiment is there, innovation is there. So, naturally, there is the revolt of the spirit of revolt in modern poetry. The modern poetry is a poetry of revolt. We can say it is a poetry of revolt, which results largely from the impact of science. So science, or we can say impact of science, is very important in modern poetry. The poet turns away from the old romantic traditions. The tradition still persists in Georgian poetry. No doubt in Georgian poetry the tradition is still persists or large of the early years of the new century. The revolt is best exemplified in the poetry of T.S. Eliot. But in the poetry of T.S. Eliot, the revolt is best exemplified. The poet sees life in its naked realism, because T.S. Eliot is regarded as the critic of modern age, and his poetry is also termed as the criticism of modern age or modern world. The next quality, modern poetry is city poetry. It is urban poetry, because there is the much description of city life, urban life, because metropolitan culture is dominated in modern age, and that is reflected in modern poetry. The heavy thud of bus, cracking of tram cars, the rattling noise of railway trains, the drone of aeroplane, all these find their echo in modern poetry, or we can say that the scientific terminology or the technological terminology is also used in modern poetry, because modern age is the age of technology, it is the age of science, it is the age of metropolitan culture and modernity. So we can say it is the poetry of urban setup. Uh, the squalor, the dizziness of an industrial civilization are reflected everywhere into the works of T.S. Eliot. We can see all these things, and the we can say the vices, the evils of the modern life in his poetry. For example, in the Westland, we can see the corrupted scenes and sights of the modern age, modern life in that poem. Another quality, the use of scientific and technological terminology. So, in modern poetry, there will be the description of modern science and technological development, and there is the technological words, scientific words, and terminology used in modern poetry. The imagery, the vocabulary of modern poets reflect the influence of science and scientific inventions. Realism in subject matter has led the modern poet to reject highly ornate and artificial poetic style of romantics in favor of language which resembles closely languages of every day. So we can say in modern poetry the language is like a prose. So prosaic language is used in modern poetry. The artistic language, or we can say the musical language, is not used in modern poetry because modern poetry uses the realistic language of the people of the world. The another quality, realistic, bitter, and pessimistic in nature. Modern poetry is also realistic in its nature and bitter in its taste, because in modern poetry there is the criticism of modern life. There is the criticism. There is a sarcasm, or we can say there is a critical attack upon the vices, the evils, and the corruption of the modern life. So it is realistic, bitter, and pessimistic in nature. So pessimism also reflects in modern poetry because due to the over development of industry and technology, a kind of pessimism generated in our human life. So that's also reflected in modern poetry. The new poetry is realistic. So new poetry means the modern poetry that is realistic in nature. The poet's consciousness of the grim reality of life has shattered all illusions and romantic dreams. The tragedy of everyday life has induced in the poet a mood of disillusionment. So, a mood of disillusionment, or we can say a mood of or a sense of loss, depression, is found in our modern life also, and that is also reflected in poetry. As we know that poetry literature is the mirror of society, so it is reflected in modern poetry. The pessimism of the modern poet or modern poetry is very poignant and heart-rending. It is very, we can say, heart-rending or very stark pessimism is there. It is even sharper than the pessimism of Hardy. And some critics says that the pessimism of modern poetry is more sharp than the pessimism of Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy is the important novelist and poet of Victorian age. So we can say it is the age of pessimism, or it is the poetry of pessimism. The another quality, rational and intellectual. Modern poetry is rational, logical, and it is intellectual. So we can say there is the revival of metaphysical elements in modern poetry. Modern poetry is rational and intellectual in its nature. There has been a revival of interest in the poetry of Donne. So we can say the revival of interest, the revival of Donne's poetry in modern age, and that quality is found clearly into the poetry of T.S. Eliot, the other metaphysical poets of the 17th century. So John Donne, as well as the other metaphysical poets of English literature, are revived in modern poetry. It seems in the modern poetry. Modern poetry has reflected more and more the intellectual qualities of Donne's poetry. So it is found in modern poetry. Eliot has done much to bring about this metaphysical revival. And this credit of metaphysical revival or the revival of metaphysical elements in modern poetry goes to T.S. Eliot. Thus, we find in his poetry the same use of startling, far-fetched imagery, the same bringing together of opposites. It means the use of conceit, the desire to startle and surprise. In this way, he is able to capture the attention. The another quality or the next quality of modern poetry is experimental and innovative. Modern poetry is innovative and experimental in its nature. So in modern poetry there are so many experiments, and for experiments G.M. Hopkins is well known in English literature as the most experimental poet, and he did so many experiments in poetry regarding its meter and language. The modern poet, or we can say modern poetry is constantly experimenting and innovative with new verse form and poetic techniques. So new verse forms are also introduced in poetry, as G.M. Hopkins introduced a new kind of meter that is called as the sprung rhythm. The use of slang colloquialism has become common. The language and rhythm of poetry approximate more and more to those of common speech. The bonds of meter have been loosened. So modern poetry is, I can say that it is more like to prose or akin to prose, because the real language of men, the real language of our day-to-day life is used in modern poetry much. So we can say the bond of meter, or we can say the control of meter over poetry is found little in modern poetry. So we can say the bond is loosened. The rule of rhyme or meter are not followed strictly in our modern poetry. Stresses vary according to emotion. So according to emotion, impulses, stresses vary, and they are in different numbers in a poetry. Verse rhythm is replaced by sense rhythm. So in modern poetry, sense is more important than the techniques of poetry, than the verse form, or we can say that meter. So verse form is replaced, or verse rhythm is replaced by the sense of rhythm. The influence of modern psychologists, and on modern poetry there is a great influence of the modern psychologists as Freud, Jung, and Bergson has become commonplace. So there is a psychological impact, and there is the impact of psychological theories, or the latest theories of the field of psychology over modern poetry. Emphasis has shifted from external to rendering to the soul or psyche. So the more importance is given to the inner psyche of the human being, or we can say that there is the portrayal of inner psyche, there is the portrayal of inner feelings or impulses of a human being in modern poetry. uh, However, impression, imagination, in modern poetry there are so many movements, or we can say in 20th century so many poetic movements came, and so many new we can say that movements, new trends also came into the modern poetry. As we know that modern poetry is the full of experiments, innovations, new techniques. So impressionism, imagism, and surrealism are the some other important innovations in the 20th century or in the poetry of modern age. The imagists are headed by Ezra Pound. So Ezra Pound, T.S. Eliot, and W.B. Yeats are the important and the leading poets of symbolism also in modern age, and he is also the head of the movement of imagism. They aim at clarity of expression through the use of hard, accurate, and definite images to convey their ideas and emotion. So they express their ideas and their emotions by using images or by using pictures into their poetry. So we can say that imagism is also important quality of modern poetry. The surrealists try to express whatever passes in the subconscious. So whatever passes in the subconscious of a human mind. So subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. These are the three layers of our psyche. So surrealists try to portray in their poetry, or try to present in their poetry what is going on in our subconscious without any control or selection by the consciousness. These innovations increase the complexity of modern poetry. So ambiguity and complexity occur in modern poetry due to the use of these various techniques of poetry. Uh, T.S. Eliot becomes an idol and the chief exponent of modernism in his poetry. So, W.B. Yeats or T.S. Eliot, these are the two leading and important poets of modern age, and they are the leaders of modern poetry. He and modern poetry go hand in hand. So, for T.S. Eliot, we can say T.S. Eliot and modern poetry go hand in hand. His influence in this regard or in this respect is undeniable. So T.S. Eliot is the major poet of modern age. And now we come to the point, who are the major poets, who are the representative poet of modern poetry. So W.B. Yeats and T.S. Eliot, these are the two greatest and representative poets of modern age. So we can say these are the two leaders of modern poetry. The another important poets of modern age are W.H. Auden, Dylan Thomas, Robert Frost, Wallace Stevenson, Ezra Pound. These are the other important poets of modern age. So in this way, we have discussed today in this class the chief characteristics of modern poetry, or what is modern poetry and who are the modern poets. So in this way, in the topic of history of English literature, we have discussed the one point or one topic, that is the chief characteristics of the modern poetry. So today, this is the topic of modern poetry. Thank you very much. In the next class we will discuss the another one.